Again? Mickey Loomis in the Saints front office. We are going to run it back with Derek Carr? Again? What the hell are we doing here? And all you Donnie Dong riders out there, go hop on and ride somewhere else. Do not embarrass yourself in my comment section. Derek Carr's a top 10 quarterback. No, he's not. Derek Carr's not a top 20 quarterback. At this point, I would rather have Billy Joe Tobert under center. Where is Danny Warfel? Anyone in New Orleans seen Billy Joe Tolliver lately? Give me him. Give me Jameis. Hell, just give me Spencer Rattler. I would rather watch Spencer Rattler go 0-17 and know that we are building towards the future than watch another season of miserable football with the captain of the SS Loser. You know how hard it is to piss off the city of New Orleans? Do you know how hard it is to piss off this fan base? This is one of the most laid-back, forgiving cities in the country, but I completely understand the frustration with Donnie. I get it, because the city knows Derek Carr is not one of us. I told you guys weeks ago, Derek Carr being a no-show for Super Bowl week, that was unforgivable. I told you the fan base would never forgive him, and the reaction that we saw late yesterday afternoon proves it. Nick Underhill, he reported yesterday afternoon that Donnie is expected to be the Saints starting quarterback for week 1. Naturally, the reaction from the fan base was visceral. I don't understand why Derek Carr would want to come back to New Orleans. He doesn't have much time left. His career is coming to an end. Now, I know he's accustomed to losing. He's the only quarterback in NFL history that's lost to every team in the league. 11 years in the NFL. 11 years. And the only consistent thing about Derek Carr is losing. 11 years. 2 playoff appearances. He's played in 1 playoff game where naturally he lost. He's going to be 34 years old this season, so you would think Donnie would want to end his NFL career with a team that has a chance to win. You would think he'd want to end his career with a team that has the talent to overcome his overwhelming deficiencies. Make no mistake about it, Saints aren't winning a damn thing this season. This was supposed to be their get-right year. This was supposed to be the year where they reset the salary cap. Hopefully they land a top 3 or a top 5 pick in the draft and they draft their quarterback of the future. Instead, Mickey Loomis decides to run it back with Donnie. Why? Because he gives us the best chance to win. Translation, Donnie gives us the best chance to go 7-10. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. If you happen to stumble upon this video, be sure to check out my main channel, Behind the Line. Link to the main channel's in the description below. Although I hate this decision from Mickey Loomis and the Saints front office, I do understand it. You ever have one of those friends where you don't understand why he stays married? He's been in a miserable marriage for 3, 4, 5 years. The petite model that he married has turned into a plus-size model. They have 2 or 3 kids. Wife stayed home to raise the children. Your friend is constantly whining about his marriage, constantly complaining. You don't understand why he doesn't file for divorce, but the reason he doesn't file for divorce is because he can't. He's stuck. Financially, he can't afford it. He can't afford the alimony, can't afford the child support. It is significantly cheaper for him to stay married than it is to get divorced. I think that's where the Saints are at with Derek Carr. They're stuck. They are stuck with the spouse that no one else wants. You can't trade Donnie. No one wants his contract. He refuses to take a pay cut to make himself more attractive. The Saints, they can't cut him because they can't afford the cap hit. Financially, I understand it, but that doesn't mean I like it. That doesn't mean I support it. Matter of fact, I hate it. And the reason I hate it is because of the message that it sends. If the Saints wanted to move on from Derek Carr, if they really wanted to, they could have found a way to make it happen. But Mickey Loomis, he believes that this roster is a couple of pieces away from contending. Now, he doesn't say what they would be contending for because it's damn sure not championships. They won't even contend for the division. Once again, the Saints are going to have the worst quarterback and arguably the worst division in football. For some reason, Mickey Loomis is the only dude in the country that believes the Saints are close. And the reason he is bringing back Derek Carr, he thinks Derek Carr can win. When the reality is, we should be embracing the suck. I have been a fan of this team my entire life. First 20 or so years of my life, I watched the Saints disappoint me year after year. But I never lost faith. I never stopped believing. I remember in the late 90s, my dad took me to a game in the Superdome. I think it was Saints-Rams. Now, this was during the Mike Ditka era. Team was god-awful. I was probably, 11, 12, 13 years old at the time, and I asked my dad as we were leaving the game if the Saints ever had a chance to win the Super Bowl. Of course, he laughed at me. This team is terrible. They will never win a Super Bowl. Couple of years later, Jimmy Haslett, Aaron Brooks, they win the first playoff game in franchise history. 10 years later, Saints win the Super Bowl. Maybe it was youth, maybe it was watching the game through the eyes of a child, but I never lost faith. When we had Drew Brees, I thought we could win every year. Hell, even when we had Aaron Brooks, I thought we could contend. But I'll be honest with you, the last 3 years have been tough. Watching the incompetence of this front office, watching this team trying to extend a Super Bowl window that closed 5 years ago, it's tough. Growing up, I always had hope. I always had hope that one day things were going to be better. One day the Saints would finally figure it out. The past 3 years, I have had no hope. How am I supposed to have faith in a team with Dennis Allen as the head coach? How am I supposed to have hope with Donnie Carr as the quarterback? This organization seems to be at war with its own fan base. I don't get it. Now, I will never give up on the Saints like I did with the Pelicans, but I have not been excited. I have not had fun watching this team in years. I used to count down the days to week 1. Now, I couldn't care less. Give me your thoughts on this. Saints fans are outraged, and rightfully so. Saints are bringing back Donnie for another miserable season. Who cares? Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys on the main channel.